Hello everybody, I'm Wayne Davies from Spectrum Economics, and today's video is going to be about promoting your content on Steem. So some of you watching this may not be on Steem, you may not have used Steemit or any of the other applications. That's fine. It's worth checking out, going to Steemit.com. So this video is going to be targeted mostly towards users of Steem. So this video is a follow-up from a post that I came out with about 4 months ago, actually. So I'm using pretty much the same slides as I did back then, but this is going to be in terms of a video, so I'm going to be talking through it. So I hope you guys don't mind that some of the pictures are going to be a little bit outdated, but they're still quite relevant. So anyway, so let me get into a bit more into this. So there's several ways you can promote your content on Steem. You can do it directly through Steemit. They have a promoted tab, so that means directly promoting it through that tab. They've also got Resteem sites. So what that is you pay like, I think it's like 1 Steem or 1 SBD, Steem blockchain dollars, and this page will what we call Resteem it. So that means they'll put it onto their page. They generally have a lot of followers. They'll explain that's not necessarily a great thing. There's also the Discord chat and the Steem chat as well, where you can actually post your, or should I say, share your content there and gain a little bit more exposure. And the other way is using bots. So there's several different types of bots. I'm going to run through that as well. I want to first start off with the promoted tag. So what you do is on Steemit, there's, or when you created your post, you'll see a little thing at the bottom called promoted. So what you do is I think you click on that and you'll have an option to promote your post by a certain amount of money. You know, that's up to you how much you want to promote it. And then let's say you were to promote the post by $10, for example. And then that will go on the promotion tag or the promoted tag. And you'll appear roughly in terms of the dollar amounts that other people have used. So for example, in this case, we can see the top post has got a promotion cost of $60. So you may have one below that's 40, below that 30, 20, 15, 12, and then yours would appear at 10. But the problem with this, it seems like very few people actually use the promoted tab. As you can see here, this post here is 2 days old, and this person paid $60, and at the moment the post is only earning 1 cent. So I would strongly recommend not to use this promotion tag. And hopefully that Steemit are going to remove this, because I think it can be a little bit misleading. But don't worry, there's other ways you can promote your content. The next option is to use Discord. So what we got with Discord? Discord is basically, it's like a chat facility for all various different persons. It's not directly connected to Steem, but the Steem users go there, and there's various chat rooms where you can actually just drop off the link to your post. You can also engage in conversations with people there as well. So by doing that, you can actually gain some attention to your posts. I have not really used Discord that much, so I can't really tell you how effective it is. But there's a lot of people on there, so there's a possibility people will pick up your post. But I think it's probably more useful for actually general chat and conversations, and more of a general promotion of yourself and your channel rather than particular posts. But I can certainly see some value in that still. Steem.chat is another option to Discord. It's a little bit similar. And here we've got lots and lots of chat rooms and all, and you can, again, share your link to that. I used to use it quite a bit when I first joined. It seemed to work okay then. I think it's generally got a little bit less popular these days, and I sometimes log in, but I almost never share any of my content there anymore. Use it more than, you know, catch up with some people there and that sort of thing. So again, I think it's more of a general sort of promoting yourself and your channel rather than posts in terms of the effectiveness at the moment anyway. There's a lot of, like I said, a lot of tags on there. You could go through them all, but most of them haven't really been used in a little while. Another option is to use Resteem services. So the Resteem service, I think you pay about 1 Steem blockchain dollar or maybe 2 Steem blockchain dollars. And what happens is they Resteem your post. So what that means is that basically your post is automatically shared to their page. And if they have like 10, 20, 30,000 followers, that's quite a bit of attention for your post. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, it doesn't quite work out so well, because a lot of people don't follow the, well, genuine people, should we call it, actually follow the Resteem services, because literally your feeds would get bombarded with loads and loads and loads of posts. And a lot of people don't like that, and they rather keep their feeds to people that they're following. So that's a disadvantage of the Resteem services. You'll get a lot more votes, but I think a lot of them are sort of automated bot votes along those lines as well. So generally, if you use the Resteem services, you probably won't recover the 1 or 2 SBD that you used. You may get lucky and pick up a few votes, but I probably wouldn't guarantee it. Next type of promotion I'd like to talk about is the bots, and bid bots in particular. And bots have become fairly dominant over the last year and a half, I believe now. I think it was somewhere around mid-2017 they started to crop up, and around early 2018 there was literally, I wouldn't say hundreds, there's almost hundreds, there's at least 50 I think. Most of them are pretty small. I think there's about 5 or 6 really big ones. You got Smart Steam, Appreciator, I think it's Post Promoter, Promo Bot, Booster, Build a Whale, and a few of those other ones. So they are fairly big. And what the bid bots do is you actually make sense because you actually bid for votes. So what happens is, for example, you bid $20, and if no one else bids in that round, then you get the full upvote. If, for example, you bid $20 and there's some other people, someone else bid $20, someone else bid $15, someone else bid $12, someone else bid $6, someone else bid $36, and so on and so forth, your vote is calculated as a percentage of that. So if your $20 turns out to be only 10%, then you only get 10% of that upvote. And there's certain built mechanisms with bots. Some of them you may make a little, some of them you may lose a little. Some of them have restrictions, like you only lose like 10% the maximum. And they also have restrictions in terms of how much you can gain as well. So for example, if it's, I think, a maximum ROI of 10% for example, and you're the only person to bid in that round, you still wouldn't get the full bid. You may only get about 50% if that turns out to be a 10% gain to you. So there's that way around it as well. So what I'm going to talk about now is how successful these bots are. And this is just only roughly, I've done this twice before, so it's, I think we're getting somewhere with it anyway, so I'll explain. So how bid bots work is that they get you on the tags. So the trending tags or the hot tags. And in other words, if you get on these tags, effectively you are getting more exposure. So in effect, that's why you'd call it promotion. But how successful are they? And that's what I've done several times in the past. And this is a repeat of what I got in my second post. So bear with me, so the results aren't going to be any different. Is how much exposure do you really get from these tags? How many people actually look at the tags? So that's why I've got a number of posts here. Some of them bot promoted, some of them not. Sometimes it's hard to tell because you have services such as Minnow Booster and Smart Market where actually uses upvotes from people, and it's hard to determine whether they voluntarily upvoted those posts or whether those votes have been bought. Whereas the bid bots, it's obvious. You'll see Appreciator, for example, Post Promoter, Build a Whale. It'll come up in the votes, so you can tell those ones anyway. So what we've got here. So I've taken some that have just reached the tags. So we've got one post here that was 8 hours in, and then 4 days later. As you can see, the number of votes haven't really gone up by much. There's a few more comments now, and the price actually gone down. Now, that's not because people downvoted. I think the price of Steem actually dropped during that period. We've got another post here, went from day 2 to day 6. This one has also lost in value, has gained hardly any upvotes, and only one comment. Again, this one I'm not sure was promoted by a bot or not, because some of them the votes look like they may have been bought, but I couldn't confirm that anyway. But still, it's just an example of the tags not really getting any. We have 2 more posts here. As you can see, you got one post here. It's only got an extra 31 upvotes. And the number of comments has increased quite a bit. And we've got another one here. This one's done pretty well, actually. I'm not sure whether they used bots again or they actually generally picked up, but I think maybe we could call that one a bit of a success there on the tags. Again, it's only doubled the comments, so it's not too bad, but the number of upvotes has increased tremendously. So maybe we'll write that one as a success. But as we go through these, you'll see there's not too many that are picking up many votes from the tags. So we have 2 more posts here that are bot promoted. And as you can see, the number of upvotes are not increasing by that much at all. The value of one of these here, that's gone up by quite a bit. The number of comments has only increased a little bit. So again, I'm not sure whether that's been re-upvoted by bots or whatever, but possibly, I'm not sure. But the key indication is the number of upvotes hasn't increased. Whereas you've got the post up here, the value went down. Again, I think that's because of the price, but price 4, and the number of comments has increased by about double, which is quite interesting. I think there's an explanation for that. I'll go into that a little bit later in this video. Here we have 2 more posts. This one here actually has the exact same value. I think it's a bit of a coincidence because the number of votes has increased by quite a bit, actually, almost 200, and the comments have increased quite a bit as well. And I think that's something that we noticed, that the comments are actually increasing by quite a bit, but that may not actually be because of being on the tags. That could be for another reason. The next one here, that one has lost in value, again probably because of the price. We got 3 extra comments on that one. Here we go, we got 2 more posts, and both of these not overly successful. The one at the bottom here seems to have done a little bit better, and particularly in comments, you can see gone from 4 to 20. So I think I'll probably address that point now in regards to comments. So a lot of people on Steam, they tend to use auto upvotes. So if your post comes out and after about 15 minutes, you'll get quite a large wave of upvotes. And then after that, you generally don't get too many. That's to optimize your curation rewards. And for people that are using bots, they tend to get another flow of upvotes just before the bot vote comes in. And we call that front running. And what that means is, again, it's because of the curation rewards. If you get in front of a bot, you actually get a share of their curation rewards. So your curation rewards on Steam is 25%, but if you get in front of a bot, I think your curation rewards can actually get up to around 50% from what I've seen. So it's actually quite an increase. It's about double that. So that's why you see a flow of rewards coming in there. And it's also another reason why not many people actually upvote posts after they've been promoted by bots. Because after a post has been promoted by a bot, some of your curation rewards will then go to the bot and then also to all the votes that came in before. So your curation rewards, like I said, is 25%, but you may only be walking away with like 15% or maybe even less potentially. So it makes any post that's been promoted by bots quite uninviting. So let's have a look at these 2 here. So these bot promoted. Some of these I think have been promoted by services like Smart Market and MinoBoost. I think some of these was by accounts, but sort of worked it out when I went into the person's transactions, just try and figure it out. It gets a little bit complicated. But as you can see here, the comments are up again. So these are people that, like I said, have auto upvoted and come in later and actually commented. And also some of these comments are probably also from the author as well, responding to the initial comments too. But in terms of looking at additional upvotes and additional value, it looks quite limited. We have another 2 more posts here. Again, in terms of rewards, not doing particularly well. But again, on comments, they seem to be doing quite well though. So it's following the same pattern as I mentioned before. We are 2 more posts where the number of comments have increased quite a bit. Number of upvotes, not so much, and values again are actually dropping. A few more. Just want to prove to you that I've actually got a reasonable sample here. So I'm just picked on a few. So again, we see the comments going up, upvotes not by much, and values still. The top one's gone up a little bit, but not an awful lot. And the top one wasn't promoted by bots. Again, does that make too much a difference? The comparisons we're making here based on tags, but there could be other factors involved as well, because I don't know what other promotion techniques these users have used. We got some more posts. By the way, if you noticed, I'm actually going through different categories. So here we're on Steem Hunt, by the way. So as you can see here, initially they got a few votes in there. A few days later, unfortunately, it hasn't gone up by too much by being on these tags. And these were pretty high up on the tags, by the way. And again, you can see the post at the bottom there has picked up an extra 3 comments. I don't know by the author, possibly responding to the initial 2 comments. I'm not sure. Now looking at, I think this is sports or exercise or something like that. Again, these 2 posts were near the top after a few hours, and not much in terms of upvotes at all, really. And again, the values have actually gone down a bit because of the falling price of Steem at the time. Okay, this is dragged on a little bit, but this is finally our last lot of posts I want to talk about from the tags. So again, we're still seeing a very similar pattern, not much difference in terms of price, in terms of payouts, very similar. Like I say, the second one there is dropping. Number of upvotes have only increased a little bit, and the comments, not much difference here either. So there's several ways you can promote your content on Steem. You can promote using Resteem services. You can promote using the various types of bots, bid bots in particular that I talked about. You can indirectly promote your content through Discord and Steem.chat. And you could use the promoted service. That's the one I most strongly recommend against. And of course, you can just engage in the community, and that's more of a general promotion of yourself and of your channel. And that tends to be probably one of the more effective ways of actually promoting yourself on Steem, is just simply engaging with other people. You go to someone else's post that's of interest and you put in an interesting comment and you go from there. And that's actually one of the more effective ways of promoting yourself rather than actually paying for these services. But like I said, though, it's still difficult at the moment to promote on Steem. There's not an awful lot of options that are good. A lot of people are using bid bots, but as I mentioned before, I don't think too many people are looking at tags. And then once the bid bot has got its vote in, the curation rewards are a lot lower for people upvoting it. So that's not a particularly good thing either. So there's a number of disadvantages. I like to think of the bid bots, the promotion side of it, is more of a side effect, really, if you want to call it that, a secondary effect. Is it's increasing your value, you just happen to get on these trending and hot pages. But in terms of actually bringing in more votes, it just doesn't really do that. Unless, of course, you get onto the main trending page, but that requires multiple bot votes. You could be like 4 or 5 bots to get you up there, and that's a massive drain on the rewards pool. And if you're doing that, the drain on rewards pool is actually hurting all the other users on the platform, because that's taking away their potential rewards. So there's a lot of reasons not to use bid bots. I used them for a while, but I was focused on getting on the tags, and back then I think there was a little bit more success with the tags. There's more people looking at them. Nowadays, not so much. So I've been off the bid bots now for over a year. I'm fairly happy with where I am. When you're promoting your content, you don't have to stop with what's just available on Steem. There's many other alternatives, and that's what I'm going to talk about in part 2 of this video series. And again, that will align with the post that I did as well. And what I do is I actually share my content to other social media. I have my own Facebook page, which I share all of my posts to. I share it to Reddit, not all of them, most of them. YouTube, well, this is a YouTube video in itself, and it's also shared on Steem, but I add an extra little bit more description on Steem to that. It gives you a little bit extra than just what you get on YouTube. Instagram, I sometimes use my thumbnails as a way of promoting. And then there's also LinkedIn as well, and a lot of my stuff is sort of academic related. This course is quite a bit of discussion. LinkedIn is actually great for that. And I'm going to talk about a little bit more about these alternative ways of promoting off the platform in the next video. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember to click the like button and follow me or subscribe. If you're watching this on Steemit, which I think is also indirectly for YouTube as well, remember to give me an upvote and also give me a comment as well. I appreciate any of your comments that you have, and I'll try my best to answer them as best I can. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later.